thanking President Trump for the opportunity. The president, where he will rally supporters later today. The Trump administration taking shape along with its policies, including the deportation agenda. ABC's Lena Wang is traveling with the president.
Trump's deportation campaign kicking off. The White House posting photos of migrants in chains, boarding military jets.
Deportation's going very well. We're getting the bad, hard criminals out.
The flights landed in Guatemala carrying roughly 160 people. This as Trump deploys 1,500 active duty troops to build new barriers along the southern border and help with detection and monitoring.
A late night ouster last night, the White House moving to fire a dozen inspectors general at federal agencies. It includes the Defense and State Departments, along with housing and urban development. Joy erupting today in Israel. The families of 4 more Israeli hostages reacting to their release by Hamas captors, the female IDF soldiers taken hostage in the October 7th attacks. ABC's Britt Clinnett is in Hostages Square.
In total, 33 hostages are set to be released in the first phase of the deal during a 6-week truce. 2 Americans, Keith Siegel and Sagi Dekelchen, are expected to be among those freed. In exchange, Israel will release hundreds of Palestinian prisoners.
Israel today also releasing hundreds of Palestinian people who are in detention. You're listening to
Struggling with back taxes or unfiled.
Kathleen Fuller with the Ohio Department of Transportation giving an update on the next step in repairing and reopening the I-471 Big Mac Bridge over the Ohio River.
Right now, we don't have a set time, but we are working on that. A lot still has to happen and come into place here for the prep work before they can do the concrete pour, but it is very, very soon.
Fuller says that it'll likely be the end of the month when concrete is poured. There's now equipment on site in Cincinnati to keep the concrete between 50 and 100 degrees so it cures correctly in the wintertime.
Hello. There I am.
Crews in Cleveland Heights responded to what is being described as a large fire at an under-construction apartment development Friday night. The flames pouring out of the Cedar Lee Meadowbrook site, also known as the Marquee at Cedar Lee, a $66 million project that was expected to be completed sometime this year. No one currently lives inside the apartments, and people are being asked to avoid the area. The fire department has blocked off the Cedar Lee intersection as well as the Cedar Road eastbound, starting at Kildare Road.
Did he tell you apparently
an East Liverpool man was found completely frozen in his home.
Okay.
A 39-year-old man's body was found on a Lincoln Avenue residence with no heat and down to single-digit temperatures inside, plus a bursted pipe gushing water into the kitchen and basement. A concerned caller requested a welfare check from an East Liverpool police officer, where that friend reportedly said it was 4 days since anyone saw him. When the officer discovered the victim, he was completely frozen and laid among trash scattered on the floor. His pit-bull terrier was found with no food or water and with a bleeding nose and bones showing through its skin. The cause of death won't be available until 2 to 3 weeks after testing, while the dog is in the custody of the dog warden. I'm Lee Mowen.
And I'm Whitney Harris.
You're not pen, don't write.
Traffic and weather.
If you're not informed,
you got a pen over there, Carl?
All you have to do is ask.
Play 610 WTVN on iHeartRadio.
Brought to you by Day and Night Heating and Cooling Products and Dill Mechanical.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
You don't need a resolution. Just a new car from Coughlin Kia. Take up to $3,000 off any new Kia in stock or 1.9% financing on new 25 Sportage and Sorrento. And get $3,500 over KBB fair value for your trade. Visit CoglinKia.com. Coughlin has the car for you. 1.9% for 60 months equals $1,748 for 1,000 finance through Kia Motor Finance with approved credit. $3,500 over KBB fair. Trade-in must be 2015 or newer with under 100,000 miles. Manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 2/3/25.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. I recently had 2 sets of customers who had vastly different stories. One had purchased elsewhere 3 years ago and spent $5,000. And the other had purchased from OMF 12 years ago and spent $1,000. The difference? Our customer's mattress lasted 4 times longer and cost them 5 times less. Don't waste money on overpriced, overhyped mattresses. Visit the Original Mattress Factory for unbeatable quality and value. Sleep better, longer, for less.
Live from LEPD Firearms Range and Training Facility, this is On Target, the latest from the firearms industry, the products and politics that affect your hobby and liberty. This program may not be politically correct, but it is On Target. Now, your host, Eric Delbert.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to On Target from LEPD Firearms and Range, 999 Bethel Road. Yeah, Ella just kind of killed that music there, just like that. Hey, it's Chuck. Eric got called into duty by Pete Hegseth. Apparently, he's going to be working a special. Congratulations, America! Pete Hegseth last night, and thank goodness J.D. Vance is our vice president and tiebreaker in the Senate. It happened. I can't imagine Mitch McConnell getting a warm reception anywhere he goes in the state of Kentucky at this point, nor
what about the one from Alaska?
Murkowski, yeah. Alaska was, I think, a 13-point win for Trump, if I'm not mistaken. I think Kentucky was like 31, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 31-point win, and he says, I don't care what you people think. He's on his way out, and
I'm here to represent my own interests. The people spoke and said, here's what we want, and I don't call that really representation of the people when you vote directly in opposition to what the people voted. So,
hey, we got a new sworn-in senator, our former lieutenant governor,
yes,
and
John
the
Husted.
Buckeyes. Since we have last been on the air, Buckeyes are the national champions. That's so good.
That is what it's almost a kid. What was it? 2002 or 2014 when we had to have this really weird set of circumstances, like Virginia Tech had to lose and the cow had to jump over the moon and all kinds of stuff in order for them to get the championship, and somehow it all happened. And this year kind of felt like the same way. After the Michigan loss, it was like, oh, well, we're done. And then out of nowhere, just everything that had to go right went right. It was just, wow, wonderful.
What about you watched how they played with Michigan, and then the games after that. I mean, the quarterback it was like he had a rocket on him.
Absolutely.
It was such a change in his game plan.
Well, there's enough testosterone around this table right now that I think every one of us understands. Sometimes it takes getting kicked in the teeth to make you throw your best punch.
I guess so.
And that's what happened to the Buckeyes. They took it hard and they got up and they came out swinging like they never swung before, and it was a beautiful thing.
It was a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, Judkins going to the NFL last night was the cutoff. I'm not sure who else might have announced. I'm
Styles
quite sure
is staying, so that was good. I
that's
thought he'd
beautiful.
Be gone, so that's a beautiful thing. So.
Absolutely. We are not the owners. Do you own anything
I don't
here?
have
Do
any
you own
stuff.
anything here?
Nope.
Okay, we are not the owners of LEPD Firearms and Range and Trading Facility. We there's one active law enforcement, and there's two guys that just talk a lot sitting up here.
Yeah.
But on Saturdays, we all come together as a group of alleged experts on firearms, Second Amendment issues, and so forth, discussing products on the market, training opportunities, training tips, and the topics that surround the Second Amendment here in these wonderful, suddenly wonderful again, United States of America. The commitment at LEPD is always to bring you the facts about the industry, to ultimately help listeners and customers with safe, responsible ownership of firearms. On today's show, of course, JC is, as you can tell, he's got his telephone book over here with all the little pretty highlighter colors. I mean, seriously, if you're watching on Facebook right now, I need you to see JC's notes. He comes in here, it looks like a pride flag. It really does. All these colors, all the rainbow colors, and the guy's got like mountains of stuff to tell us about. We have at least one gun of the week here. You're handling the gun of the week?
I think we have two of these.
I didn't know if you get to both of them, so I wasn't going to overpromise things. I'm a Republican after all. Richie, the legendary Richie, calling after the bottom of the hour. Apparently, he has a really cool new job.
Oh boy, yeah, I envy him. So,
I don't know a thing about it, but Eric said, "Oh yes, you're going to want to talk to Richie." And next week, a SHOT Show wrap up is coming.
Yeah,
are you going?
No, it's already over.
Is it over? I thought it was this
week.
It's
only for 4 days. Yep.
No, I thought it was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
No, it's just for 4 days. So it's over, done with.
It's
gone.
done.
Yeah.
And Eric keeps saying he's going to take us.
And we didn't go again. No.
I think we got to get rid of Eric. And being that Eric's not here again, I think he goes on probation.
We need some.
and I believe the crowd is the one that agreed with me on that.
We need some disciplinary actions for you, Mr. Eric. Sponsors of the show, thanks very much to U.S. Law Shield, Jackson Egress Windows, Black Wing Shooting Center, River's Edge Cutlery, CNS Engraving, LEPD Training Facility, and of course you can contact LEPD for sponsorship or make a one-time donation. Just go to LEPD Firearms website. It's kind of hard not to find them at this point because also the internet is apparently much freer than it was a couple of weeks ago.
There you go.
Speaking of which, we are streaming live on Facebook, also on YouTube, and of course on your radio at 610 WTVN. The podcast is always up. If you miss any of the show, you can always just come back and listen to it again and again and again because it's always so pleasurable. So I haven't been here I've been here 1 out of like the last 6 weeks because I have what I like to call a life, and so I've been a little busy. What's going on with you guys? JC to my left and Ed
like
to my
the
right.
Ryan Seacrest. You're on the road, radio here, on the road you're there. You're just like a busy
Coming
man.
in here at the end of the month, I'll be filling in on the morning show for Mike. I'm in with Blazer at 3 during the week now. I still got my thing at 6 o'clock. It's
amazing.
I'm all over.
All right.
So how's life? What's going on with you?
Oh, everything's good here. It was a kind of rough week. We lost electricity here at the store, along with everybody else as they went over the brownout or whatever, and then our phones went out the next day, and then so it was a little bit hectic here, but everything's good. So, but news-wise, we've got some news, and this is I like this one. It's kind of interesting. So Trump, as we know, has issued more. I think in the first or second day than he's done more than the President Biden had done in the last.
He's talked more than President Biden did the whole 4 years he was in.
Just amazing. So he's amazing. Okay, so anyway, but he had a flurry of executive orders, but none were gun specific, some we were hoping for. But he did keep his campaign promise, which he said, and pardoned all the January 6th defendants who were arrested during the protest. Well, ironically, on Tuesday, so one of them, his name is Daniel Ball, so he got clemency for the protest period of time, but the next day he's arrested and pending federal gun charges. So apparently he was a Florida man. He was the first January 6th rioter to face additional troubles. Apparently, under his new indictment, he had 2 previous convictions, so he was a felon. Domestic violence by battery and strangulation back in 2017, and battering and resisting law enforcement with violence in October of 21. And I guess being in the hoots cow for this time, they didn't have a chance to really serve him.
Oh, no, it took 4 years or 3 years?
Yeah, well, he was already in jail. So, anyway, so as soon as he stepped out, so he got arrested on federal gun charge as being a convicted violent felon.
It's going to be interesting. I think the reason they found the firearm, though, was a search due to the January 6th conviction, wasn't it?
That I do not know. I just know they waited until he was clemency for the riot, and then left on federal gun charges. If the pardon
expunges January 6th, then there was no reason to do the search. Therefore, he should not have had that weapon discovered. A good lawyer may get him out of this.
I don't know.
I'm just saying. Depends on what that pardon.
Double convicted felon. And he wasn't. There was no clemency for what he had done in the past. So anyway, well, I'll be interested in reporting on that.
Yeah, this whole thing's going to result with all these pardons.
Here's some big news, and this is I gave it a round of applause. So we know that Stephen Dettelbach is gone as the director of the ATF. Yay! I'll even give that an applause. And in his place right now is Marvin Richardson. Now he's back on top. He didn't get this through the efforts of President Trump. He got it just by the fact that the one guy's gone. We have to have a director, so he was an acting. He's an acting director. So, matter of fact, he was a former acting director at the top under Biden. It's funny, even though he's the acting director, he's still only listed as of yesterday as a deputy director. But the importance of this one was he has been here before in this role, and he was there under Biden. But Biden decided he wasn't tough enough for what he wanted, and he was demoted from the acting director to bring Dettelbach in. And this sparked a backlash because he's black, and black law enforcement and gun rights groups both were really upset that Biden got rid of him as acting director and put Dettelbach in there. So Richardson's been criticized. He's kind of both sides of the ball here. The gun control activists, that's why they pushed to get rid of him. They wanted really harder policies, and they argued that Richardson was too cozy with the gun industry. So, as a matter of fact, they accused him of slow-walking Biden's rules on toughening gun restrictions. And the New York Times even described him at the time as in quote, an industry-friendly subordinate pumping the brakes on Biden's gun control policies. So they got rid of him. Biden got rid of him and brought in Dettelbach. But gun rights activists also have criticized him. So he's kind of middle of the road because they claim that Richardson was actually the driving force behind the efforts to make pistol-braced firearms, like we have sitting up here and here. And he wanted them to be short-barreled rifles, which are NFA required tax stamp, background, all that. So they're treated like machine guns, even though they're semi-automatics. So anyway, so he had that both of those things going away that way. So anyway, so we don't know what President Trump is going to do. Maybe he's going to wait for the Attorney General to come in. But right now he's back in as the acting director. And anyway, so
has old Marvin at least driven past a gun store at some point in his life?
Oh, he's a good guy. I mean, I actually thought he was a pretty good guy, and he like I said, he's pro enough gun that he has actually advocated for some positive gun changes, and they said that he actually attends gun shows, goes to and speaks with the industry, and he's right out there, making contact with them. So he's kind of, like I said, the middle of the road. And they said that that's what, if Bondi gets in, they said that's what she's looking for is somebody that will be a law enforcement more person than a political activist if she gets in. I guess she's not confirmed yet.
Well, you can argue about the policy and the politics later. At least somebody who understands and maybe even owns firearms running the agency is a good idea.
Yeah, well, I would think
because
so.
We haven't had that.
So, the quote is here, she advocates for a non-political law enforcement official to run the ATF. But in any case, he's certainly a lot better than Dettelbach was. But in speaking of the ATF, you still have snakes in the foxhole that we have to get rid of. Eric happened to text me just about a half an hour ago saying, hey, did you see this? Well, the President Trump said, hey, we got to get rid of all the DEI, officials in every agency. We're done with that. We judge people on their character and what they can do and their abilities. So he said every one of them should be put off on every federal agency should be put on leave. Well, the ATF had a DEI sole person to run DEI in the ATF, and they had one on Tuesday. But once they heard what Trump was doing, they immediately took her and changed her title to senior executive. So on their website, she went from being the DEI officer for the ATF and now she's listed as. So the people in there they're still trying to undermine and do these things are still there, and that just shows you what kind of condition the ATF has been in. So, all right.
And more government smoke and mirrors, changing names, keeping everything else the same.
There's some, we can get some quick one. We got a few to go here.
Yeah, you can get one more quick one in. All right. Got to do a Chicago update before we go to the break.
There's still stuff that's going on. This is just crazy to me. Colorado lawmakers have introduced their Colorado Senate Bill 3, introduced by a senator, of course, and then a representative also co-sponsored. This bill would ban the manufacture, the distribution, transfer, sale for all semi-automatic weapons that would take a detachable magazine. You could have no semi-automatic weapons that would take a detachable magazine.
Wait. Would that not be all semi-automatic weapons?
Yeah. Well, right. Well, no, not the new PR. The PR-57 that Celtic came out with, which is an internal magazine. Maybe that's why they came out with it. But anyway, they just said this would compromise the overwhelming majority of the handguns and rifles, shotguns that would take magazines. So it seemed only bolt-action rifles, lever-action rifles, break-action rifles, and shotguns, pump shotguns, and revolvers. That would be all that would be left in Colorado. So that's actually been introduced as a bill. That just shows you the madness that this woke society still.
I would say
a while
somebody
to
in
get
the
rid of
Colorado legislature is Rocky Mountain High.
Yeah,
that's their problem.
that's what I would say.
The wonderful, glorious, windy city, Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you what. You just can't go a day without hearing the BS that comes out of that city. We got, as of today, 100 people shot in January already.
Wow.
27 murders. And that's all in the first 25 days of the year.
That's crazy.
They're up there for a new record.
I hope that we do not try to hang per capita with them again this year, because last year was a bad enough year. Last night I was listening to the scanner because I'm a boring person, and I was listening to the Columbus Police on a pursuit from Southwest Columbus, some tenement apartments over on the southwest side, shooting apparently into an apartment. And the dirt balls, 3 dirt balls fled in a car. They went all over my beloved West Side through residential neighborhoods, hilltop streets, and so forth. Got themselves to West Broad, Sullivan Avenue, hit 70, bailed on the ramp, at the Parsons ramp there at Children's Hospital. Mm-hmm. Wow. One of them apparently got in the hospital. Jesus. So they set up a perimeter on Livingston Avenue. They got the hospital surrounded. They catch one on the ramp, another one fleeing on foot, thinking he's going to run on the freeway. Hey, I'm a bad guy. And so all 3 of them were caught last night, thank goodness. So good job, Columbus Police Department. The chopper was in the air, and I heard 3 different precincts on the scanner that all responded to this thing and got these guys wrapped up in a hurry. And last I heard this morning, it was about 8 o'clock this morning, there were no incidents of anybody getting hit by the gunfire.
Good,
which is
good.
Thank goodness for that.
That's good.
But yeah, let's not have a Chicago year in Columbus. Let's avoid that. Got to take a break here. We will be back. Plenty more. JC's got more and more news, and it is multicolored news. And and Richie checks in after the bottom of the hour. You're listening to On Target from LEPD Firearms and Range, 999 Bethel Road on 610 WTVN.
This is what's happening.
You are already.
Yeah.
And a caliber of .223?
Yep, .223. I guess they could.
Well,
they could make a.
In Henry world, that 1300 ain't bad though.
But I actually thought it was also available in 300 Blackout, which would take the same magazine. That loads right into the.
Which would still fall into the category of a semi-auto.
Well, no. I mean, it's a lever action.
But it's a detachable magazine.
Yeah, but it's got a magazine. So it'd still be banned in Colorado because it's anything with a magazine.
I haven't seen this Kel-Tec you were talking about with the internal magazine. So
is that the one you feed from the top?
You're going to see it. We are so excited that when I cover some of the stuff at just teasers from the gun show. Kel-Tec came out. It's incredibly reasonable in price. But it's got an internal magazine. It holds 20 rounds of the 5.7, the FN 5.7 cartridge.
Fed from the top, is it not?
Yeah, it comes with 2, and it's got a push. So you when you pull it back and you insert the truly a clip because the rounds are exposed.
Right.
But it's got a pusher, so you just push it in, shove it in. 10 rounds are there. Pull out the second one. They give you 2. Put it in, shove it in, and now you have 20 rounds. So if they go banning these firearms where have detachable magazines, this one doesn't. It's an internal, but imagine 20 rounds of 5.7, and it weighs 13 ounces. At the show, they blew off the table because they had a lot of wind out there, and Jesus, and they were so light.
Hey, today mostly cloudy skies, a slight chance for a few flurries with a high of 36. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies. I sure do miss Eric. With a low of 26. Sunday, mostly cloudy skies, a high of 32. It's currently 31 on your severe weather station, News Radio 610 WTVN.
News headlines and interesting talk. News Radio 610 WTVN.
Hey, I miss you.
I missed you too. Ow. I think this is actually the first song I ever heard the Stones do when I was a kid.
Really?
I think so. And it was followed by I Know It's Only Rock and Roll, but I like it. I don't know why that popped into my head. Well, welcome back. This is On Target from LAPD Firearms and Range. We are at 999 Bethel Road. And by the way, I want to let you know, I know it's cold right now. People don't want to come out. Everybody's kind of in hibernation mode and so forth. But as it warms up, they get out, get more active. And we do have, chairs in here, an in-studio audience, if you will, which basically is...
Almost a full house today.
It's a wonderful thing usually because Tom has donuts, but he didn't bring the donuts today.
I don't know. Something about he was running late. I don't get that.
You know how he is. But usually Tom brings in donuts, and we get a nice little crowd out here. So you're always welcome to come out and just kind of hang out during the show Saturdays at noon here at 999 Bethel Road. If you miss any of the show live, you can always catch the podcast at 610WTBN.com, iHeartRadio.com. It's on iTunes, also now on Spotify. Spreaker has it. Facebook has it. YouTube has it. OnTarget at lepd.com is the website if you want to listen to it directly from the LEPD website. Does that cover everything?
And we get a lot of people out there talking about Facebook is cutting in and out. And, guys, I'm sorry. We wish we could change that. It's unfortunate that that's happening. I can only tell you to just get old 610W out and listen to us on the radio.
Yeah, and I don't know. Facebook has been really weird, especially since Zuckerberg came to this revelation that maybe people should be allowed to post things they don't agree with. I'll be watching a cat video. I mean, something completely innocuous, and 10 seconds in, it stops.
Mm-hmm.
And you scroll on to the next video, and then you go back to the cat video, and then it goes again. It doesn't matter whether I'm on my cell data, whether I'm on the radio station Wi-Fi, my home Wi-Fi. It does it all the time.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
They knocked us off 2 weeks ago because I was talking the GUN word and demonstrating.
Facebook knocked you off for saying that?
That's what Eric said. He said they just dropped us because it violated their standards.
I thought they were going to be freedom of speech free.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that'll change. But.
With this rise of artificial intelligence, and you have to be a Star Trek fan to understand what I'm about to say, but every time I see Mark Zuckerberg, I see Lieutenant Commander Data with messy hair. And I'm just wondering, could he be AI generated? Maybe he is an android because he reminds me of Data. We got time here probably before the bottom of the hour for a couple of more news stories. If you have anything for us,
yeah.
Does he have anything? Come on.
But talk about this is the news of the what would be weird, but this is in Pennsylvania. A Democratic, of course, state representative named Amen Brown introduced a bill in the Commonwealth that would require anyone attending a gun show to show personal identification. The show promoter must then make a copy of that ID and keep it for 5 years.
What?
And if it passes, they must also turn those records over to the Office of the Attorney General of Pennsylvania or in any county prosecutor or municipal police department upon request. And you don't have to have a reason for it. You could just say, yeah, there's a gun show in town. I want to know.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is PA not one of the ones that said you didn't need an ID to vote?
Yeah, of course. Anything.
But now they want you to show an ID to go to a gun show.
To
just
go to a
attend.
gun show. Yeah, I want to buy a holster, and I want to go there, and I want your ID, and we're going to keep that. And then anyone who wants it, Attorney General, we're going to send it to them, and so they said there's probably a little chance of it passing, but the fact that they're introducing this just absolutely crazy.
I'm pretty sure even John Fetterman would think that was stupid.
Yeah, I would. I agree. He's kind of seen some of the light. We're going to give you just a couple perks because the show is over. The SHOT Show is over, and we're not going to discuss these in great detail. However, I'm going to tell you about some of the things that happened that were pretty interesting at the SHOT Show. So some of the one that seemed to actually have the most response was this Kel-Tec, and it's called the PR-57. So lightweight, it's hammer fire, but it's internal, so you don't see the hammer. It's a rotating barrel, and it locks up at the end of the barrel. So when you look at the slide, it looks like it has all these star cuts in it, but that's where the barrel locks up. It rotates, which helps cut down on the recoil. It weighed it's so light, it's like 13 ounces. That they said it was a horrible day at the SHOT Show on range day. They said it was low 40s, high winds, which were feeding the fires out west. And they said the gun was so light they had videos of them blowing off of top of the table, and all the targets are blown down. But they did. They said it was a bad range day, but it's very, very interesting gun, and because it's the manufacturer's suggested retail is $399, so it'll be sold for less than that, and everyone seems to want one. The other one that's really interesting, and folks, you should just look this up. It's hard to even describe it, but there's the high-tech and very expensive guns are made by ZEV, Z-E-V. They do a lot of, you can take a Glock and they just go over the slide and it looks like something from outer space. Well, they combined with a Magpul, and they came out with their FDP, which is their folding defense platform. It actually looks like a gun case. It is rectangular. It's only 10 3/4 inches long. I mean, we're talking like a sheet of paper that's smaller than this. And the handle is actually, it's a little more squared off than you can see on the typical AR handle. But when you carry it, it looks like that. But you hit a button, it pops open almost instantly to the stock. It's got this, and your pistol grip is there. Takes 17-round Glock magazines, and it just, you hit the button and it pops open. And in open, it's only 20 inches long, and it's this incredible little pistol. But you really need to look at the video. I watched it a couple times, even this morning before I came. It's cool. The video's cool because it's fast-paced rock songs going on while about 20 different guys at the range are going, popping it up and anyway. But it's called the ZEV, the folding defense platform, the FDP. But really strange.
Sounds like a Maxwell Smart gun.
Yeah,
you know what? I was just thinking that's like I was going there. I was going with what's his face, Inspector Gadget.
Go Gadget.
Yeah. Which was the cartoon version of Maxwell Smart, basically.
Yeah, it's around $1,700, but you ought to just have to watch it and see it. I think it even comes with a telephone in a shoe. Does it come with that? I don't know if it comes with that or not. But
when you aim, you'll never hit what you're trying to hit. But then you get to say missed it by that much.
Yeah, it comes with a short-barreled rifle, pistol, and a carbine. So
I am not sure if we have a sponsor or not, but I'm thinking it might be U.S. Law Shield. So just in case it is U.S. Law Shield, wonderful. You get yourself covered. If you ever have to use your weapon, you will be glad you know what U.S. Law Shield is, and hopefully have availed yourself of their coverage and services. Great thing to check into. You can find a link to them at lepdfirearms.com. We got to take a break here for the bottom of the hour news. JC has more. Richie's checking in, and I still got to find out what's going on with that because I haven't had a chance to talk to him. This is On Target on 610 WTVN.
Steve here with USA Insulation.
He told me Richie's already called in. He said he's coming at 12:30.
I don't know. Is he?
Yeah,
is that the time?
Yeah, that's what he
you
told
are
me.
on with your Facebook.
He's already late.
Oh, he's not on.
Or we're late, I'm saying. It's already 1:32. Ella, is Richie on with us? On hold?
He is not.
Uh-oh.
Why are the Columbus school...
Columbus School's closed again Monday?
No, I get calls all the time. We'd like to remind you that we are here for... I
am so fed up with these robocalls.
Yeah, me too. So you got a bunch of people on Facebook who want to talk to you?
Well, I've got a lot of them complaining because the Facebook is cutting in and out, and Eric checked in. He said he's watching us on YouTube with no issues. So all of you YouTube or Facebook fans, get the heck off of Facebook and go to YouTube. Is there anything I can tell you? And I don't know what else is going on and why they're doing what they do, but it's Facebook, folks. And let's see. Speaking of, we were talking about Trump earlier.
Yeah.
Did you watch him?
Now Richie's on.
All right.
Richie's
Did you watch him last night in California?
I did. Oh, I just
calling out the mayor.
Oh yes,
that was
the mayor,
beautiful.
Then they have that one guy, kind of semi-bald headed, just going, "Now we made."
He was a fool.
Oh boy, he was, and he just put him in his place.
Yes, he did.
Gavin Newsom, by the way, could have maybe showered and put on a dress shirt or something to meet the president's plane. That was
Did you hear where they put the picture of Gavin Newsom pointing his finger right in the face, and that was a
little staged because I mean, if you watch the video, they were actually very cordial to one another, and hand on the shoulder, and Trump being very assuring, we're going to get through this.
They portrayed it on the
paper. And it made it look like he was saying, "I'm going to work with you, you work with me," kind of thing. So I hope it's true. I hope he's not being two-faced, but it is Gavin.
But I just love Trump on that. It was just great.
Trump said essentially, what was the phrase he used? We're here to help. We'll do everything we can. We cannot have the golden age of this country without the golden state.
Right.
which I think is a very conciliatory.
Really,
so we're coming.
And he's going to get the federal regulations permit process taken. They're going to pretty much waive it.
So waive it, get it done.
And tell the city officials to do the same thing.
When all these people that hated him in advance and dreaded everything in advance go, my God, he's actually reaching out and helping and doing stuff. One reporter stood up in California yesterday and said, hey, Biden promised help for these people. It never came. And you could see Trump was like taking the notes. Get there tomorrow, you know?
Right.
That's what he said. He goes, no, a week's too long. You know, tomorrow, let him in, let him get started.
Let's go.
And let's count on the friends. And then when I watched him also when he was in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And you know, he said, hey, these people are surviving based on the fact that people from all over different states came in, and one said there's so much stuff coming in stacked at their church. They said they'll probably be good for like 4 months as far as getting supplies. And he said, hey, get these other states around. You got 40 million people there.
Right.
Have them come in. Have them help. This is
your
state.
He's
your
getting
problem.
Getting the
From LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility, this is On Target, the latest from the firearms industry, the products and politics that affect your hobby and liberty. This program may not be politically correct, but it is On Target. Now, your host, Eric Delbert.
And Eric is on special assignment for Pete Hegseth. This is Chuck. I got Ed to my right. I got John to my left. I got Richie on the phone. It's a good day here at LAPD Firearms Range 999. Bethel Road. We were talking off the air about the Trump trip out to California and how, you know, the manipulation of some of the media. And I want to point this out because I think so many people, they see a picture on Facebook, they automatically react to it, they form an opinion, and it's erroneous because the picture is deceptive. The picture of Gavin Newsom, although it would have been nice had he bathed and put on a suit, the picture of Gavin Newsom and the finger pointing with Donald Trump yesterday was very very disingenuous. The situation, if you watched the video of the two meeting, you know, the hands on the shoulders, the reassurances, the smiles, the nods, it was a very nice, nonpartisan, let's get together and fix this crap situation. It was not what that picture might have implied. And I hope that there are many times that happens here over the next 4 years. I believe there will be. I believe one of the strengths of Donald Trump is that whether people want to be together or not, he has a tendency to bring them together, and he showed that in California yesterday. And I hope he continues to do it because overall, that's what's good for this country.
Absolutely,
he's amazing.
Edward.
Yes, sir.
We were talking too about the smartwatch thingy.
Yes.
I got to ask you something. Does it ever annoy you? I mean, just because so much stuff. We off the air was talking. I got a couple for two of my grandsons, and they don't really care for their smartwatches.
Well, I'll tell you, it does. It has annoyed me several times where I've been talking to somebody, and I would say something like, "I don't understand why blah blah blah," and my watch gives me an answer for no reason. It just chimes in.
It's listening to everything.
I know. It's just like the phone, same thing. But again, I will give Apple Watch the plus sign of possibly saving my life because I was having some heart issues, and my watch told me my heart rate was too high.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I looked at my watch going, what the heck is going on here? And sure enough, my heart rate was way high, and I had to go to the hospital. And I've been afflicted with what they call an SVT, but it's under control now, so I guess I can thank my watch for that.
Well, you have a smart watch. I put on my grandson's, I called it a Smart Aleck watch because I put it on and it said have a salad. I took it back off. I didn't care for that watch at all. But hey, we've got standing by right now on the phone is I always get him described as my buddy Richie.
Right.
Never a last name. I know he's got a new job. Don't know what it is.
And it's always Eric's buddy.
No, it's Eric's buddy. He's not our buddy. He does. I don't even know why he's calling us because he's
my
Eric's buddy.
My buddy Richie. Richie, are you everybody's buddy or just Eric's?
Well, you know, I am everyone's buddy. I mean, Eric has photographs of me that I don't want to get out to the media, so I have to be his special buddy.
All
but
right.
listen, just for the record, gentlemen, you know, I'm a soldier that follows orders, and the commander-in-chief told me to call it exactly 12:35, and that is exactly why I had not called yet.
So he lied to us.
Yes. I am very when you launch a mission and they tell you launch at 12:35, not a minute sooner. But anyways, I am here. I'm everyone's friend. How you guys doing today?
Welcome.
Good to hear from you.
We're told that you've got some kind of cool new job that we all need to know about for some reason. What are you doing?
Well, do you remember when Charlie Bucket got the Wonka factory? How excited he was.
Yes.
Well, I got 20 years of working in the firearms industry, and I started my career working at Sega Special Weapons. So I've gone to the SHOT Show 12.5 times, working with Glock and, selling to law enforcement. So everything's been modern. I now took a job, and I've been there since July, and I work for a company right here in Manchester, New Hampshire, about 2.4 miles away from where I live. It is called the Amoskeag Auction Company. And everyone is familiar with Rock Island and some of the other auction houses that are out there. Amoskeag's been around for 27 years. There's a job posting that came up as a firearms specialist, and someone sent me the listing because I was unemployed. Long story. And they said, Rich, you're perfect for the job. And I'm like, you know what? Yes, I am. I'm an expert specialist. I know my stuff. And 15 minutes into the interview, I realized that I didn't know jack. Because there are, with no exaggeration, I'm going to throw this number up in the air, 500,000 different variations of firearms that have been created over the last couple centuries, from sporting to recreational to military, trap shooting, side-by-sides, over and unders, drilling rifles, and not even including handguns and just all sorts of variations. And I am literally in a pool, like the pool of what they call those little balls that kids jump into. Well, that's what I do every day is I go to work and I jump into a pool of guns. And I have seen some of the most amazing firearms I never thought I would ever either see or hold.
You're getting paid for this?
I am.
Wow.
It's an amazing job. The stuff that sits on my table on a regular basis is just amazing. I mean, I have handled a shotgun that was monogrammed and owned by Audie Murphy.
Wow.
And everyone knows who Audie Murphy is. I have also handled a revolver that was Teddy Roosevelt's single-action army that he took up San Juan Hill with the Rough Riders.
Oh, my goodness. Now, that would be... Oh, Richie. Oh, man. No. He's my hero, man. I'd love to see that. You got to handle it.
Yeah, can you conduct like tours for your buddies and stuff? You said you're everybody's friend.
Well, if you guys were to make listen, there's a museum up here. One of the top 5 Class 3 owners in the United States. His store is not far from here. He's a gun shop. Actually, I had the pleasure of inviting Ian McCullum from ForgottenWeapons.com. to come up here. It'll be 3 years this July, and I spent the entire weekend with Ian, and you know what?
Oh, man.
He is exactly like he is in the videos. No deviation of personality. Great guy, and we fed him better than he's ever been fed, and he had a great time, and I actually had an opportunity to be a cameraman for him when he was shooting one of the videos, and he freaked me out because he turned to me and says, what do you think, Mr. Cameraman? Should we go down and, look at the target? And if you ever watch his videos, historically, he doesn't talk to the cameraman. So I froze. And I'm like, sure.
Hey, Richie, I'm thinking about you last night and today. I stumbled across something at the online from the SHOT Show, and I said, oh, my goodness. And as soon as I saw it, I said, Richie, I want this gun. Richie would want this gun. We won't have it. But you're probably, I don't know if you're even aware of it, but U.S. Armament Manufacturing just did a clone of the Delisle Commando carbine, and they only made 129 of these originally. And I don't know if you've seen it before, but I just went to it. I saw it because it's based on a SMLE number 1 Mark III chassis, but it's got an integral suppressor, and it's bolt action. And it made it in 45 ACP only, magazine fed. They said it was probably the quietest suppressed firearm ever made.
Wow.
But when you look at it, that back end is just our favorite SMLE look to it. And
John,
anyway,
John, I hate to stop you here, but for us dummies, what is SMLE?
Short magazine Lee Enfield. It's a rifle that the British Army used for 62 years. It was their main battle rifle in different configurations. But
helps me understand
Richie,
your story.
This is his. That's his bailiwick. He loves this. I love this gun, and but when I saw this, Yeah, Richie knows what I'm talking about, but yeah, it looks so cool. At $6,000 or $7,000, we won't be able to own that.
Oh, is that all?
Anyway, but you have to see it. It's cool.
Were you at SHOT Show, Richie? Because none of us were.
Well, no, and I'm grateful that I'm not there. If you've done a dozen or so shows as a vendor, it is 12 hours on your feet, shaking a lot of hands, a lot of close talkers. It literally is the world's largest Petri dish because 90% of everyone that comes home has the SHOT Show flu. And I'm not even exaggerating. Everyone that leaves the show ends up getting sick because you're just in the face with all sorts of people. But do you know what happens right after the SHOT Show in Vegas?
A big party?
Well, yes, there is. But there is also the Las Vegas Antique Arms Show, which is going on right this weekend. And this is antique heaven of everything you guys could possibly imagine, from Colt to Smith & Wesson, Winchester, huge booths, and Class 3 items, but it's massive. I don't think it's the size, and I can probably say comfortably it's not the size of the SHOT Show. You've ever been there, it's massive, but it's got, dozens and dozens of vendors that are down there. It's quite large. But no, I actually stayed home because someone had to keep the candle burning at the office and continue writing and stuff like that. JC, getting back to your comment about the Delisle, there has actually been a company for the last 10 to 12 years making a copy, and it's called Valkyrie. And you can buy a fake suppressor or a real suppressor, and believe it or not, it's custom built and it's under $3,000.
Wow, so that's I hadn't heard of that one when I saw this one that was one of the featured unusual guns at the SHOT Show and U.S. Armored Manufacturing. I looked it up. This were in use until 1965, and I know I only made 129 of them, so I don't think there's too many out there. But it's such a cool gun. It's only 19 inches long, bolt action, suppressed gun, 45, and it's just one of the coolest things. And I said, I bet Richie would love to have one of these in his gun safe. But that's cool. The Valkyrie. I'm going to look that one up too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I am. I'm still patiently waiting for my Vickers to be completed, which the last time I spoke to Midwest Metalworks, who was doing the restoration program on it, I'm supposed to be getting it back this month. So I'm like an expecting father waiting for his child to come home.
Yeah, that would be an expensive little child, and I would take. Oh boy, that is phenomenal. Yeah, he's into British guns.
It's just amazing. But I'll be honest with you, I actually, the job has impacted my relationship with Eric, because we used to talk all the time, and unfortunately I'm just full-time working. But getting into the antique industry, working at Amoskeag Auction, has been a completely different experience, because you're seeing these vintage guns coming in. Unfortunately, some people are getting up there in their ages and getting up there in their 80s, and they're selling the guns because their kids don't want the guns. Or, unfortunately, they're passing away, and then they have instructions to bring their collection to Amoskeag. We just picked up a collection that's probably valued at over $5 million.
Oh, my goodness.
The gentleman's house was 4,200 square feet. His entire basement was the same footprint as the house, and it was a museum he had built downstairs, and he knew the curator at Smith & Wesson and also Springfield Armory. So the prototype, one-of-a-kind guns that he has is just unbelievable. It's like, I'll give you one example. There is from the Craig rifle that we used, Spanish-American War, into the 1903, there was a prototype. There is one of one, 1903, 28-inch barrel, chambered in 30-01.
30-01. 30-01.
Yeah. We also have, that just came in, a Mark IV Webley revolver that is engraved White Star Line.
Oh, my goodness.
That manufactured the Titanic.
Yes.
Wow.
And there's only two other known in existence, and one is in an English museum, and the other one's in the Scottish Museum.
Isn't that neat?
So we have that one coming up for auction.
Oh, well, Richie, now that we're all very, very jealous of you, you have to go. But congratulations on the new job. Enjoy every single minute of it. It sounds like you will. And we're going to take the final break here and try to hit at least one gun of the week when we get back. This is On Target on 610 WTVN.
anywhere.
It's so convenient.
Anytime.
Yeah, I heard him off air talking. He just said, you think you know something because he deals with modern, and you come in and there's stuff from the 1800s, and so they have revolvers made in the 1800s, early 1800s. That
I guess, am I on or not? It looks like we may have lost conversation on Facebook. I see we're still moving, and appears to be that we're live, but I don't think any of the conversation from the folks that are watching us, unless they've all gone to YouTube, that might be why, but nobody's sending anything, nobody's saying anything, and if it is because Facebook is down, I apologize again. I wish we could change that, but the only other thing I could suggest for you locals is come to the show and watch us live.
Come on down. That's what the Price is Right announcer will sound like in another 50 years. Come on down. Come bring snacks.
Yeah, bring your
5 seconds.
A 19-inch bolt-action rifle.
19-inch bolt rifle. Hey, your ABC first warning weather. Today, mostly cloudy skies, slight chance of flurries, a high of 36. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, and I still miss Eric with a low of 26. Sunday, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 32. It's currently 31 on your severe weather station, News Radio 610 WTVN.
Traffic, weather, and interesting talk. News Radio 610 WTVN.
That's not Word Up, man.
No?
That's Janet right there, baby. Who's back to work again?
Is she right?
Yeah, she is. She's I think out in Vegas. I miss her.
Oh, actually, she's staying out in Vegas.
I think, doing a residency thing. Well, this is where'd that go? Ella, your record is scratched. Just so you know. The gun the week. There's a couple up here on the counter, and JC, I'm gonna tell you if you would like to. Pick your favorite, just in case we only get through one of them. Which one would you like to talk about most?
But if you're watching online, both of these are AR pistols. And if you look at the one, I mean, I'm shocked it's a pistol.
Because it's gold, it's very expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive. It's a Geissele, and I can't reach out. It's very heavy, all Geissele made, and therefore it is very expensive. But that has an 11.5-inch barrel, and it does have the arm brace on it.
Yes.
And that qualifies as a pistol, but I would never have guessed that at that. It's massive.
And the barrel length determines pistol versus rifle, right?
Yeah, if it's under 16 inches, then it's a pistol, or else a short-barreled rifle, or that's how they're classified. So the ATF many years ago says a rifle's got to be 16 inches or longer. If it's less than 16 inches, it's a pistol. So some of the long-range shooting in the old days, they would make 15 and 3/4 inch pistols for long-range target shooting in particular. But other than that, if you have a rifle and it's not 16 inches, then it's a short-barreled rifle, tack stamp. Just like you're buying a machine gun, even though it could be just a one of these. So this was made a long time ago, but now they're making them now, and this was made by DPMS. And it's the Panther, and it's called the just like they named it, what the original called the Kitty Cat. This has got so it's a pistol because it's got a 7.5-inch barrel, and this is an arm brace. It doesn't have the brace things on it yet, which is required. Other than that, if it's a stock, then it's a short-barreled rifle. But if it has the ability to attach around your arm to support. And, after Vietnam, a lot of people were injured, don't want to be able to shoot. And so they came up with the idea of making an arm brace, which works really well with the collapsible kind of stock. But if you use it like this, and that's predominantly how you're using it, it's a short-barreled rifle, and you could actually be charged with a federal offense of having.
But if you put the strap on it, it's okay.
Right, but you can also see that's not meant to go against your shoulder. It's very, very thin for those on the back, and it's not comfortable. But let's face it, when you look at that one, that's one of the determinations on the other. Most of the stocks are like that. You can see what's that paraphernalia in the back. That's the arm strap. You put your arm in, it straps it so you're able to shoot a pistol one-handed. There's many folks there that just don't abide by the laws, like stop signs and like taking short barrel rifles. But this is just 7.5-inch barrel, and it's the old-fashioned, AR with the carry handle. which does not come off. So it's just this is how you carry it. So Vietnam vets will certainly, from the early days, will certainly recognize that. So very cool, 223. You can actually carry this in your car legally.
There's the difference right there.
Right, there's a difference. It is a pistol. So I would say that if you're driving around in a bad neighborhood, this would be a very impressive pistol to have laying out on your
Playing by the
seat.
rules, a loaded AR-15 rifle in your car makes you a criminal. Right. This does not.
It's like $650.
I can't believe it.
And you know it does. That is technically classified as the same thing. You could also have that in your car, but I can't even imagine being able to maneuver that at all. But that is also a pistol, and a very expensive one because Geissele makes just top notch. All the competitors use the Geissele trigger for I would say probably 90% of them in the matches that they have up at Camp Perry thing. But
do you lose anything as far as performance, accuracy, distance, anything with the AR pistol versus an AR rifle?
Not really. I have one that Kel-Tec makes. And one of the reasons I bought it was because they're like, here's this pistol. It's got a 9.25 inch barrel, actually 9.2 inches. And I read two different magazines, reputable magazine. One's American Rifleman, one was Guns. And they tested it on the bench where you were holding it. They got 9/16 of an inch groups out of the one and a 3/4 at 100 yards with this 9. So I ended up buying one in the early days when it first came out. And I just can't believe how accurate it is. So it's a Kel-Tec and it's their PLR 16. Anyway, but they're accurate. You lose velocity. But this isn't a long-range gun. You wouldn't go hunting with something like this at a far distance.
That'd be a great gun for on duty.
And it's really reasonable. So, folks,
doing entries in homes.
Like we're talking it's a tick less than $650. It's brand new DPMS, which makes great things and takes all the accessories that you would if you want to change the hand grip or do anything. I still love that old carry handle.
Right. What's the weight on that?
Probably about 4 to 5, probably less than 5 pounds.
And these are in stock now.
Yeah, and it's here right now.
Those are going to go quickly.
Yeah,
very nice.
That one's over $2,400. So that one is a very expensive, really quality gun. But yeah, stop in LEPD Firearms Range, 999 Bethel Road, and come in and see these.
You got anything going on this week? You got to plug fast, like in 5 seconds?
This weekend?
This week.
Oh, this week. Well, we're going to be getting ready to talk about SHOT Show once Eric comes back for next week. And
Not 5 seconds.
Stuff. So anyway.
All right.
Hey, everybody.
Let's be careful out there. Radio app for all your music, news, talk, and sports radio. Podcast too. Download the app. Free. Never sounded so good.
Hell, your 5 seconds lasted about a second and a half.
Most of the millionaires that we work with are just regular folks. They just worked hard. Now, we have some doctors we work with, dentists. We have high-level executives that we work with on a regular basis. But I'm talking about the people that were like my parents.
Yeah.
They saved really well. They had discipline
I'm
in their
trying to
life.
figure out this clock. What do you show on the clock right now as far as your seconds count?
On News Radio 610 WTVN and at LegacyRetirementGroup.com.
Simple bath
Okay,
and
so
kitchen.
you're about 3
Local,
seconds
trusted,
ahead
and
on the minutes.
focused on
But for
what
some
matters.
reason, this clock here says 1:58:26 right now.
Come with pressure.
Just the best quality and service in Columbus.
Learn more at
And
SimpleBathAndKitchen.com.
be okay when
Happy
daylight
New
saving
Year.
time comes back. All right. Does he have generic promos in
Can
there?
I come over to your house one time and you not have your husband prancing around in its tidy whities?
Well, I can't do laundry because our septic line is
Man,
clogged.
just run
Call
his generics
Dormar. They
'cause I
do
have no
same-day
idea
plumbing
what he's
repair.
talking about. As you can see, I was here.
The new year means new health goals, not just for your body, but your finances too. Your personal info is in so many places that are outside of your control. It only takes one mistake, and not even your mistake, to expose you to identity theft and lost funds. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's restoration specialist will fix it, guarantee your subscription money back, and resolve to make identity.
All right, my dear. Hopefully I get to see you soon. How's he doing, by the way, after the surgery?
Save up to 40% off your first year with promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
I did not have... Honestly,
hey, everyone.
I've had
it's
nothing.
Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECOND-FREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Your station for news, traffic, and weather in Central Ohio. News Radio 610 WTVN, Columbus. WODC HD2 Asheville, an iHeartRadio station.
Oh, see, it's on sale for me.
24. Yeah, 22.
I actually thought that would be much more expensive.
This is sweet. This is really sweet.
And yeah, fold that stock back up and look how short that becomes.
Yeah.
Move it all the way in.
Good show, gentlemen.
Push it down and just shove it in.
Eric is officially on probation now.
All right.
He would call in.
I know.
Yeah.
Squeeze it in and it slides.
If there's like video evidence of you in the street and you pulled that stock out and used it as a rifle, can you face charges?
I was pushing on the nut, not on the piece.
Don't push on your nuts.
I have two flashlights. That does make a difference. A little bit longer. They're black. But this is still as a continuity.
You can actually
so I took
it out. Hold it up like this.
So we'll lose it.
But it carries when you
it's in the house.
pick it up. It just feels
someplace
like
around. I was looking in the wall.
Won't quite fit in the briefcase, but it's a
light switch. No. So I got the other one. I got orange and red on it. And
what I didn't do, and I'm
that's on my key ring.
Yeah,
I love this little thing, man. That's a hell of a.
Well, mine, damn thing, it gets turned on by when I put it in my pocket. It turns on and then the battery's dead.
Yeah. You have to give this with a substantial push. So it's got two settings: your regular and your
go to the door with.
And seriously, it will blind you.
You blinded me.
I'm still in the article. I love that shirt.
And the charge lasts forever.
$30
where
at Costco.
Gun Test Magazine, actually, I think I carried it in my briefcase, where Gun Test Magazine tested penetration in houses, and they built, regular walls and everything. They tested all the handgun cartridges. They started with a 380, but they went, 380, 9, all the way up, 44, the whole thing. And on penetration. Well, then just for the heck of it.
Brought to you by Day and Night Heating and Cooling Products and Dill Mechanical.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Simple Bath and Kitchen. Local, trusted, and focused on what matters.
Because your dream kitchen or bath should never come with pressure.
Just the best quality and service in Columbus.
Learn more at simplebathandkitchen.com. Happy New Year!
Brian, Ductless Systems and Right Way Heating and Cooling. Doing whatever it takes.
Staying on course without support is tough. With help from family and community, you get valuable support for recovery from a mental or substance use disorder. Join the Voices for Recovery. Visible, vocal, valuable.
For confidential information on mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
You guys ready?
Here we go.
Winning Retirement Radio with Greg and Kristen Taylor on News Radio 610 WTVN.
Happy weekend, Columbus. Thank you so much for being here this hour. We're going to reveal the latest bucket list travel destinations. That's important because Kristen Taylor herself was looking at travel right before the show. Who isn't, right? We'll
Business
find out.
Travel, though.
Well, we can work something in. We'll find out what is considered the best job to have right now.